Greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ from your sister church, Piedmont Presbyterian. We are a very small, I always say tiny. People say, are you a small congregation? I say, we're a tiny congregation in Northeast Portland. And I have been a teaching elder there for 14 years now. I thought they were going to move me along after 2, so that's been pretty special. I don't know. I had a couple of pictures, and not sure if they are available right now. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit. We are a very small congregation. I always think of Hildegard van Bingen's her comment about being a feather on the breath of God. And we are a feather on the breath of God. One of the joys of being a small congregation is that we know every day that we are only there by God's grace. There is no other way to be Piedmont other than to know that God is pulling you through. One of our favorite anthems is, "We have come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. He's never failed us yet." One of the most important things about being a small Presbyterian church in Northeast Portland is you are by necessity a neighborhood church. I say by necessity because we don't even have a parking lot. That means that there's a natural limit to how many people can drive to where we are. Here we go. Here's some pictures. So, in the upper corner is a gathering in the summer. We were in worship and saying goodbye to one of our sister congregants, Grace Geary, who is leaving for a job down in Salem. And it gives you a sense of we know each other very well. Also pictured is Neela and her mother Lizzie, who are lighting Advent candles. Back behind them is the Rose City Gay Freedom Horn Quartet. This is an offshoot of a band that practiced in the church for years and years. I wanted to include these pictures both to show you our faces, but also because part of God supporting us is the great gifts we receive through our neighbors, such as the band. There's a line from the readings, the lectionary readings in Epiphany, about a multitude of camels will cover you. It talks about all of the blessings that God will bring to your door. As a neighborhood church, that happens to us. I can't shovel snow without a neighbor popping their head out of across the street and saying, "Pastor Sarah, don't do that. I'll do that for you." When we needed a huge laurel hedge removed from the south side of the church, neighbors up and down the street helped to remove that. They've helped us dig out boiler pipes. They've helped with all sorts of things that have happened. And that's incredibly important to us as a small church, is to recognize the many gifts that the strangers around us bring to our doors. That includes the sleeping bags that show up once a week that are dropped through our mailbox. So there's all sorts of gifts. Is the next picture, please? Thank you. This is one of the most special parts of my life right now, is our play park ministry. We borrowed this idea from Northminster Presbyterian Church because there were grandmothers in our neighborhood who were taking care of grandchildren and wanted a space to be indoors out of the rain. And now my daughter is 7 years. It's about 9 years later. We have, over the course of a week, we usually have 30 to 40 children. Over the course of the year, we usually serve over 30 to 40 families, maybe about 70 children. And it's simply a place to come in for adults and children and be. The kids play, the grown-ups talk, and we have open hours, about 15 hours every week. It's been an opportunity for me as a pastor. No one ever showed up to office hours, but I get a great crowd every time we do play park. But an opportunity as a pastor to walk with people who would not ordinarily ever darken the doors of a church, to be with parents as they face their children being diagnosed with developmental delays, to be able to be with parents who are going through really hard days, sometimes relationship problems, sometimes employment problems. And so this has been a wonderful thing that we do. It's the easiest ministry I've ever done because the adults who come always clean up at the end of the day. And so, and it's helped me to raise my 3 children. I don't know how successful of a mom I would have been with my first one if I hadn't had parents around me to talk to see the kids that were 3 months, a year older than my daughter. So this has been something remarkable that God has done really through the gift of Northminster's example and through the gift of the grandmothers who said, hey, we'd like to come. So that's been a real gift to us. One of the mothers from this group is going to be the next pyramid maker in our church. And again, we continue to celebrate our blessings from our neighbors. Now we have, I think, just 2 more slides that I wanted to talk about. Any more? There we go. Piedmont is a beautiful old building from 1913, and these are one set of probably like 6, 7, 8 sets of stairs. There's actually not a single room in the entire church that is handicapped accessible, and which has been a real challenge for us. Sometimes we have more people worshiping downstairs than upstairs. And our sanctuary is on the 2nd floor. We are in the upper room every Sunday. Another exciting thing that's happened for our congregation this year is because of a bequest and then because of the generosity of some members and because of the Presbytery's generosity with the Barnabas Fund, we are able to take out 1 flight of stairs. That took a lot of prayer for the city of Portland. And we are installing a lift that will allow people, and a wheelchair ramp, that will allow people to enter the church and be able to go to the sanctuary or down to the fellowship hall in a wheelchair, which is new, and then a second lift, which will allow them to go from the fellowship hall to the junior chapel level where the bathrooms were. All of these important parts of church life will be able to be joined together, and no longer will the ability to climb stairs define the ability of people to worship with our congregation in the sanctuary. So I don't have any nice, hey, this is it working pictures, because it's still ongoing. We are rapidly moving towards completion of the project, hopefully by Pentecost. But that's just been another really exciting, but we're not quite there yet, parts of our congregation. Thank you.